up female, you don't stand a chance. Better get out of the patient Michael told me, you've got it right away. You've got it right away, Michael. What's that you say, Michael? There is no such thing as a right to life? Anybody out there disagree?
Yes.
I got a feeling you do. I got a feeling.
Is he still there?
Okay, you probably think I went out of my way to find the least attractive photo I could find of Michael Tooley. I took it from his website. It came straight from his website. He wants the world to think of him as this person right here. I'm innocent. From his website, go look at it. Last but not least, where we started. If carrots have a right to life, this dog is in big trouble. This is my dog. With a Christmas ribbon tied around her neck. She is the leading consumer of carrots in the entire United States. I think, is it possible for a dog to be a vegetarian? I think she's a vegetarian. If carrots have a right to life, this dog is in big trouble. She murders them all the time. What would you like to talk about in terms of what you just saw and heard? You want to drive to Boulder and beat up Tully? No. No, the students in the class wanted to do that.
Wow.
I said, no, you can't. He's a professor, you know, you can't be violent to people like that.
Smoking a little too much dope.
It's not, it's a bad precedent.
How do you pass his class?
I'm sorry.
How do you pass his class if you're taking it from, yeah.
I have to read. You have to think about what you're reading, you know. My hope is that what you got out of this is, they do not start where you do, or I do. They start somewhere completely else. And they reason their way to where they get. But look at all the things they had to throw out along the way.
Did you see the movie God Is Not Dead?
No, I
Reminded me
haven't
of that.
seen
Reminded me of that.
Okay. I'll have to read it.
It's a good,
Tell me about it. I don't know anything about it.
Was it philosophy professor, wasn't it? Yes.
Is it Peter Kraft, maybe?
No.
No.
Anyway, he wanted all his students just to write on the paper, God is dead, to get that out of the way, and then he wanted his class. He
Oh.
said, one student challenged him, and that's what the whole movie's about.
I'm going to take a poll of the Loris philosophers privately, and I'll report back to you. If they're all atheists, I'll be surprised. Especially Father Jones. I don't think so. I don't think Chavalos is atheist. I don't think Janine Jackson atheist. You know, we don't discuss it much. So the whole, one student read this article, he said, this guy's just playing mind games. I said, no, he thinks he's doing philosophy. Let's be charitable and give him the benefit of the doubt.
It's scary how many professors there are.
Oh, these are people that are finest public universities training the next generation of students. I mean, I forgot one thing up there. The most influential pro-choice article ever published was published by an MIT professor named Judith Jarvis Thompson. What happens in that article? You're a female and you wake up in the morning to discover somebody, without your permission, hooked you to a violinist who's male, because they're the Society of Music Lovers, and for some medical reason, being hooked to you is the only way this guy can continue to live. So they couldn't wait around and get your permission, they just hook you up. Okay. But you have to decide in the morning whether to allow the hookup to continue, not to continue. And she goes from there to what another scholar has called demonic pregnancy. As whatever is inside of her is growing and growing, she has these fears that it's going to become so large that it's going to explode her and kill her. It's the number one selling, the number one, I shouldn't say selling, the number one most quoted pro-choice article in the academic world. Demonic pregnancy. So one of the assignments I gave the students was interview somebody who was given birth and find out if they had a demonic pregnancy. You know,
And most
they
of them interview their
found out, although it was late,
Yeah.
the better assignment that I thought it was, they found out that pregnancy is not fun. Firsthand from people they trust. I think college students should know that. You know, that's not a bad thing for them to know. It is not fun. Not having been, and I was just a spectator. My wife will be the first to point out, whatever she was going through was not fun. You wanna do the rebuttal of this? It's when you get to see that you say, what problem? I don't remember it, you know, there wasn't a problem. You know,
It was not fun.
did you ever feel like that preborn was gonna explode you and kill you? That it was growing so wildly that it was threatening your very life and health? This is an MIT philosopher.
Male.
But the book was written as fiction. Wouldn't that be fiction?
Yes.
How do the students respond to this guy?
Oh, they went crazy. They hate him. They hate him. But then there's worse stuff in the course that they have to read. And they hate that even more. I make them read an assignment by a theology professor at a Catholic university who visits an abortion clinic and finds absolutely nothing wrong
Oh, no.
whatsoever. Nothing objectionable. And he is still teaching at a Catholic university.
Which one?
I can't. Besides, it won't do you any good. They've been trying to get him thrown out for 30 years. The university doesn't even send letters back anymore. They send an email saying, no, we're not going to fire him, and here's why. He's good until retirement, which should be blessedly soon.
Dave, the first year you taught this course, you took the kids to Planned Parenthood. Do you still do that?
We didn't do it this year because actually we were supposed to go to the headquarters of Catholics for Choice in D.C. D.C. had a 4-inch snowstorm that shut down the city. We couldn't not go. I mean, there was not a flake of snow on the ground before. Canceled every government office, every buses ran, emergency buses. It didn't start snowing until 11 a.m. and our appointment was at 2. We could have gone back, but they don't know what to do. So but Catholics for Choice, yes, there is. Plus, there are representatives of an organization called Religious Coalition for Reproductive Choice. But, you know, I recommend it. be in a room with pro-choice people and see if you can actually have a discussion. It can happen. Actually, it's a big part of it. Now that you know, they're not evil people. They're being told by our best public philosophers that what they're doing is perfectly okay. What are they supposed to do? They're being told by our Supreme Court that what they're doing is perfectly okay. Why should they think otherwise?
Do the kids do well discussing or
Oh,
challenging
they love to
them?
talk about it. They love to talk about it. But, you know, they get a little excited. I'm all for it, dialogue with pro-choice people. It's the most educational. Not this past January, but the last time I went before that, we actually did go. We had an hour and a half discussion in the Office of Catholics. And the only one who misbehaved was one of the adults from Catholics for Choice. The students were fine. Don't misbehave. Don't go in. You know, go in and listen to what they have to say, and then don't be afraid to tell them what you have to say. And I'll tell you what, one first-year student, you know Amanda McKenna. Amanda McKenna is just unbelievable. The first-year student sitting in national offices with half a dozen leaders from the national organization and say, no, here's what I think. She's maybe 80 pounds altogether. She's a first-year student. This is January. She's been in college for 3 months and she's taken on leaders to national leaders. I just pushed my chair back and watched. It was amazing.
That's what makes me afraid.
They all said, they got mad at me. Right after going there, they were all mad at me. Why did you make us do it? So we sat down and had a talk about it. It lasted a couple hours, after we got back to the hotel. Talked about it. And I told them why I thought it was important. And every one of them later said, I'm glad you made us do that. Now I have a new perspective. It's not that they got converted, they're more sure of their views than ever, but they understand there's a whole other context out there that people operate from, and it is in fact our public philosophy. It's coming out of the Boulders and the MITs and the Michigans and the beat me up? You want to beat him up? I'd rather that you beat him up. I prefer that.
Yes, thank you.